So it's 47. That's another 2-3 students. I think you have got your syllabus. Okay, we'll start. It's almost 50. Others will join. Slide is visible. Yeah. So today we'll go to the, you can say, systemic histology. Systemic histology means from next class onwards, in our routine classes, we will be dealing with one particular system. For example, suppose digestive system, respiratory system, urinary system, male genital system, female genital system, endocrine, integument, sense organ. We'll study the histology system-wise. There is a systematic histology. Okay. So in our common class, in earlier 4 classes, we have discussed about the general histology. General histology means that I deal with the cell, the cytology. Okay. Then Dr. Patil has dealt with the epithelium. Okay. And that is next common classes, you will be dealing with the connective tissue, then the muscular tissue and the nervous tissues accordingly. Okay. So, of course, now you have the basic idea what are the basic tissues of the body. That is the epithelium, connective, muscle, and the nervous tissues. Detail you will study in the particular chapter. The remaining chapter means that is connective tissues, muscular tissue, and the nervous tissues. Details about that. But now, while we'll shift to the systemic histology, so first our point of interest is organization of organs. How the organs in the different systems they are organized. Organs of the different system. That means, suppose the organs of the digestive system like tongue, okay, the mouth cavity, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, how they are organized. Okay. And similarly, the organs of the respiratory system, how they are organized, organs of the immune system, how they are organized. Okay. So that's why it is called as the organology. Organology means it is a study of the organs. So these organs are the structural units of the body that are made of varying amounts of the 4 basic tissues. Got my point? They are the structural units of the body that are made or that are construct of various amount of, okay, or variable amount of the 4 basic tissues. 4 basic tissues means either epithelium, connective, muscular, and nervous tissues, and have a specific organization and functions. So the 4 basic tissues which will make up a particular organ, they will have their specific function in that particular organ. Okay. So organs are generally studied as a part of a system. For example, the stomach, the intestines, liver are studied as part of the digestive system. So these all organs, they are studied as part of the system. Suppose organs of the digestive system. So in which case their organization and function would be compared. However, In this lesson, the general structure architecture of all the organs will be considered. And all the organ means, I'm thinking in this lesson, means in today's class, general structural architecture of all the organs will be considered. All organ means what are the different patterns of organs. So these organs, they are divided into two categories. One is resemble the hollow tube and the others that are non-tubular. Got my point? Entire organs, they will be grouped into two categories. Hollow tubular organs and non-tubular. Hollow tubular means those organs, they are having the lumen, they are having the cavity inside. And others, those organs which do not have the lumen, they are the solid organ. They do not have a lumen or the tube at the interior. Okay, they are the solid organ, and some having, suppose our mouth. In the mouth, you can say we are eating something, so we are having the lumen in the mouth cavity. Esophagus, we are having a lumen. We are having a spaces inside. Similarly, stomach also. But if you see the example of certain glands, suppose parotid glands, the liver, okay, so you do not get the lumen inside to that. You may find certain ducts, but not in general, you won't find the lumen. So those organs will be called as the solid organs. And those having the lumen, that will be called as hollow tube or the tubular organs. So from here, we will know that in all the systems of the body, whether it is a digestive, the respiratory, urinary, genital, endocrine, in all the organs, all the systems of the body, you will find in general two types of organs. One will be called as tubular organs, another will be called as non-tubular or the solid organs. Tubular organs and the solid organs. Okay? Now you see, so this is the general structure of tubular organ, but here excluding the cardiovascular. So what is the general pattern of the tubular organs, but not the cardiovascular? Because cardiovascular having their own structure. Clear? So that is the one exception. So now otherwise, in all the tubular organs, you will find this general pattern. But of course, there may be certain variation in some organs. Otherwise, this is the general pattern, except the organs of the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular tubular organs have their own pattern, okay, or own structure. Organs of the tubular organs of the cardiovascular system. Except in the cardiovascular, all tubular organs in the different system of the body having a similar pattern. That's why it is told that the walls of the non-vascular tubular organs are organized into circumferential layers of tissue called the tunics that surround the central space referred to as lumen, as I told you. That's why all walls of the non-vascular means, vascular means it's the cardiovascular. So then others organ, in the organs of all other systems, their walls are organized into circumferential layer of tissue. And these layers are called as tunics in histology. And these tunics surrounding the lumen or the cavity. Okay. Now, what are those tunics? Tunics that you will find in all the non-vascular tubular organs. So, in all the non-vascular tubular organs, you will find 4 tunics. And they are called as first, the Tunica Mucosa, Tunica Submucosa, Tunica Muscularis, and Tunica Adventitia or Tunica Serosa. These are the 4 tunics you will find. Now, again, you will find that each tunic there are certain differences. Now we'll go specifically what is called the tunics. So you see the Tunica Mucosa. While we are talking about Tunica Mucosa,
Sir.
Yes. Hello.
One student is not able to join. Can you please accept her?
Pardon?
One student is not able to join.
But nobody is there in the waiting list. I have admitted everyone.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nobody is waiting. Okay. So Tunica mucosa is again having three different sub-layers. You can say again Tunica mucosa consists of three different layers. The first layer of the Tunica mucosa, it is called as lamina epithelialis mucosae. The second layer is called as lamina propria mucosae. And the third layer is called as lamina muscularis mucosae. Remember the term. Here is term as lamina, but in the main it has come as tunica. So in main tunics always comes the tunica, but in the subtunic it came as lamina. Got the point? So now what is its content? So while we are talking about the lamina epithelialis mucosae, it is the superficial layer of Tunica mucosa. It is an epithelial layer. So it may consist of any type of epithelium, that means the surface epithelium. So you know the different types of epithelium. So depending upon the organs, suppose if you go to the esophagus, tubular organ. So here in case you will find that lamina epithelium will be restrictive epithelium, keratinized, wear and tear. Okay. So depending upon the organs, this epithelium vary. Means some organs, lamina epithelialis may be simple cuboidal, some organs it may be simple columnar, some organs it may be stratified squamous, some organs it may be of simple squamous. Okay. So depending upon the particular organ or the function of the organ, that epithelium varies. Second will be called as the lamina propria mucosae. So in generally it is consists of loose connective tissue. Okay. Of course, you have not yet studied the connective tissue. So connective tissue means that connect the other tissues. So its main function would be to connect the epithelium to the underlying structure. So loose connective tissue, here normally there are certain cells you will find in the loose connective tissue like plasma cells, the macrophages, the lymphocytes. Okay, all you will find in the lamina propria mucosae. And in addition to that, you will find certain glands will be called as mucosal glands. Okay, so while the first one, the epithelialis, is as is contained epithelium, it's depend upon the function of the epithelium, secretory or protection. While we come to the lamina propria mucosae, its main function will be as usually supplies defense as it contains the lymphocytes, defense, as well as what you will do in the lamina propria, loose connective tissue means here you will find connective tissue cells as well as the blood vessels. So these blood vessels will this blood that will try to give the nutrition or nourishment to the epithelium, because epithelium is avascular. So from these underlying layers, the epithelium will get the nourishment or their nutrition from the lamina propria. Okay. Then the third layer normally consists of, it is called as lamina muscularis mucosae. Lamina muscularis mucosae. So normally this muscularis mucosae, it may contain, depending upon the organs, 1 to 3 layers of smooth muscle. It may be a 1 layer, 2 layer, or a 3 layers of the smooth muscle. Okay? And the function of this mucosa is this: suppose in a water pipe, okay, so water is going from one side to another side. So due to the contraction of this muscle within the lamina muscularis, the ingesta or the particular content within the organ, they will move from anterior to the posterior direction. Got my point? Due to the function of the, or due to the contraction and relaxation of the smooth muscles, okay, they will have anterior posterior movements of the content of particular organs. This is about the Tunica mucosa. So Tunica submucosa. While we are talking about the Tunica submucosa, you'll find that it is consists of layer of loose connective tissue. Now questions come. You see, Tunica submucosa contains loose connective tissue, and here lamina propria mucosae also contains the loose connective tissue. But the amount of loose connective tissue in the lamina propria is very less. It is very less. But here you will find high contents, very dense amount of loose connective tissue. Higher quantities of the loose connective tissue you will find in Tunica submucosa. In addition, in the submucosa, you will find the submucosal glands. I think by this time you have studied the glands. Is that it? Hello? How many types of glands are there? Depending upon the secretion, there are three different ways of classification of the glands. One is on the basis of morphological characteristic, one is on the basis of secretory product, another is on the basis of mode of secretion. On the basis of the nature of the secretory product, they are defined as mucus, serous, as well as the mix or seromucus. So here within the Tunica submucosa, you may find submucosal glands. It may vary in nature, maybe mucus, maybe serous, maybe seromucus, depending upon the different organs. Okay, seromucus or mucus or only serous gland you will find. So among the loose connective tissue within the Tunica submucosa, you will find a ganglionic nerve plexus of the autonomic nervous system. A ganglionic nerve plexus of autonomic nervous system, and that ganglionic nerve plexus of autonomic nervous system, which is located within the Tunica submucosa, will be termed as Meissner's plexus, or simply the submucosal plexus. Meissner's plexus or the submucosal plexus. Okay. So again, what happens in some organs? What happens out of the Tunica mucosa? The third layer of the Tunica mucosa is absent sometimes. So the third layer of the Tunica mucosa, that is lamina muscularis mucosa, may be absent in some of the organs. So in that case, that's why in organs without lamina muscularis, it is called as a propria submucosa. So in those organs, the third layer of Tunica mucosa, that is the lamina muscularis mucosa, is absent. So in those organs, we will term as not as Tunica submucosa, we will just term as a propria submucosa. Instead of telling Tunica submucosa, we will tell as a propria submucosa in organs without a lamina muscularis mucosa layer. Then the Tunica muscularis. So Tunica muscularis, depending upon the organs, they may contain the smooth muscle or the skeletal muscle. Tunica muscularis may contain layer of smooth muscle or skeletal muscles. Usually, Tunica muscularis consists of two layers of muscle. Okay, two layers of muscles, and these two layers is named as inner circular layer and outer longitudinal layers. Okay, but here also sometimes three layers may be present. But usually in many of the organs, in the only 5% of the organ you may find there are three layers. But usually 95% of the organ you will find two layers of the muscle, that is inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. And in the Tunica muscularis also, between the inner circular and outer longitudinal muscle layers, between the inner and the outer longitudinal muscle layer, you will find a ganglionic nerve plexus of autonomic nervous system, and that will be called as the myenteric oblique the Ayurveda plexus. The nerve plexus, which will be located between the two muscle layers, will be termed as myenteric or Ayurveda plexus. What is the name that is found in the Tunica submucosa? Ganglionic nerve plexus. ganglionic nerve plexus of ANS in the submucosa. Yes?
Mason's plexus.
Mason's plexus. Okay. Mason's plexus. This is the Mason's plexus, ganglionic nerve plexus. This is always a question. The submucosa, it is also called as submucosal nerve plexus. Okay. Ganglionic nerve plexus of ANS in the submucosa, Mason's plexus, and ganglionic nerve plexus of the Tunica Muscularis. It is called as mesenteric chorda Ayurveda plexus. And the functions, yes, I'm talking about Tunica Submucosa, you will find. So Tunica Submucosa means here you will find mostly the loose connective tissue. This layer helps in the defense, the protection of that particular organ. Loose connective tissue means many cells, phagocytic cells you will find. Okay, so it is mainly to protect the particular organs. Coming to the Tunica Muscularis, its main function, because you will find here either smooth or skeletal muscle. The contraction and relaxation of the muscles will help to mix up the content. Suppose we eat the food material through our esophagus. So due to the movement of the muscle layer of the Tunica Muscularis, the ingesta or the content, whatever we eat, we try to mix up within the different part of the digestive tract, the mixing up. But in case of lamina muscularis, it will try to propel the content from anterior to the posterior. But the function of the Tunica Muscularis is to mix up the ingredient, and due to the contraction of this muscle layer, they try to mix up the content along with the secretions from the different glands. Then the fourth tunic that you will find, that is Tunica Serosa or Adventitia. Tunica Serosa or Adventitia. Now, what is Serosa and what is the Adventitia? So, Serosa means it is a layer of connective tissue with a covering of mesothelium. So, you know the mesothelium. What is the mesothelium and what is endothelium? Epithelium you have studied. Yes, it is a simple squamous epithelium lining the blood vessels. There is the endothelium. Simple squamous epithelium lining the body cavities, serous membranes. Okay, so that is the mesothelium. So serosa means it consists a layer of connective tissue with a covering of mesothelium. That means with a covering of simple squamous epithelium. And organs that border the pleural, pericardial, and peritoneal cavities are covered by serosa. Remember, organs that border the pleural, pericardial, and peritoneal cavities. So let us see the example. In our neck part, which part of the esophagus you will find within our neck? Within our neck, this part of the esophagus will be termed as what? Hello. Am I audible? So what is the name of the part of the esophagus? This is located within the neck region. Esophagus. Huh? Yes, cervical. Esophagus having three parts. In the neck, where the cervical vertebrae is there, it is cervical part of the esophagus. Then, when the thoracic vertebra is there, that part is called the thoracic part of the esophagus. And after proceeding through the diaphragm, that will be called as the short abdominal part. Three part of the esophagus. Long back I taught you. So esophagus is having three parts: cervical, thoracic, and the short abdominal part. So while you see the cervical part of the esophagus in the neck regions, there is no body cavities. So this cervical part of esophagus is, we won't use the term mesothelium. But let's come to the last sentence. All organs that do not border these cavities possesses a layer of connective tissue, Tunica Adventitia. So while we tail the last layer or the last tunics, okay, in the esophagus, so we will tail it is just Tunica Adventitia in case of cervical part of the esophagus. In case of cervical part of the esophagus, because it is not within the body cavities, whether it is pleuro or pericardial or peritoneal cavities. Okay, because cervical part is outside the body cavities. So here we use the term tunica adventitia. Those organs which will be located inside the body cavities like pleural, pericardial, peritoneal cavities, that will be called as serosa. That will, in there you will use the serosa. Suppose in case of thoracic part of the esophagus or the abdominal part of the esophagus, the last tunic you have to mention tunica serosa. But in cervical part of the esophagus, last tunic will be the tunica adventitia. The reason behind is that this organ is not inside the body cavities. Is this clear? Yeah. As you will see, this description of the characteristic of tubular organ digestive system, esophagus, stomach, intestine, whereas variation of the basic plan occurs in other systems. The number of layers and the content of the layers are variable and are dependent on the organ system. So this is a general description we learned. That is, general description means the four tunic: Tunica Mucosa, Tunica Submucosa, Tunica Muscularis, and Tunica Serosa or Adventitia. But that pattern may varies from organ to organs in different system. Here you can see. So you have seen here this layer is the mucosa. From here, this is the esophagus. Histology, you can see the mucosa. So in the mucosa means there is a tunica mucosa. Tunica mucosa. Okay. So tunica mucosa means first from here. Have you seen? This is the lamina epithelialis. Here you can see it is just stratified squamous epithelium. Lamina epithelialis mucosae. Okay. Then in between, have you seen a small layer? This one, this layer. Seen? So this is the lamina propria layer. Lamina propria. This is the lamina propria layer. Okay. And then this layer you will see. This layer is the lamina muscularis. So these are the three layers of the tunica mucosa: lamina epithelialis, lamina propria, and the lamina muscularis. So these three layers comprises together the tunica mucosa or the first tunic. So second tunic is the tunica submucosa. So tunica submucosa, mostly you will find here loose connective tissue and the submucosal gland. Okay, and here you can see this is the mesenteric plexus. No, Meissner's plexus. Submucosal ganglionic nerve plexus. And next to the submucosa, you will find that is the, here you can see very big, muscularis externa or the tunica muscularis mucosae. It is also called as muscularis externa, tunica muscularis. From here to here, tunica muscularis. So you can say the smooth muscle that is inner circular and the outer longitudinal muscle layers. Okay, these are two muscle layers you will find. And last layer you can find adventitia, the connective tissues. So these are different layers in a particular organ, the esophagus. Here you can see this is a circular cross sections. This is the lamina tunica mucosae layer. Okay, then this layer is the tunica mucosae. Then this is the tunica submucosae. Okay, then you will find tunica muscularis, and this is the serosa layer. Come here, you can see now. This is this layer up to here. Up to here, this is the tunica mucosae. You can see the lumen. Okay, so tunica mucosae first, that is the epithelium layer. In this case, it is non-cornified squamous epithelium, esophagus. Okay, this is the epithelium, and then lamina propria of the loose connective tissue, and then lamina muscularis mucosae. Then you will find submucosa, loose connective tissue, tunica submucosa, and then this is the tunica muscularis or the muscularis externa. Tunica muscularis or the muscularis externa, that consists of two smooth muscle layers, inner circular order, outer longitudinal smooth muscle layers, and the last layer is the Adventitia, Tunica Adventitia, cervical part of the esophagus. Here is very brightly shown. Okay, so this is of the intestine. Okay, so here you can see from this is the mucosa layer, this side, mucosa layer. Okay, this part, mucosa. So mucosa means here, intestine means thrown into villi, later on will dilute. So here in the villi you will find epithelium, then in between you will find epithelium that will consist the lamina epithelialis mucosae, then the lamina propria, and you will find in between the muscle, lamina muscularis. Then next to this tunica mucosa, you will come the submucosal layer. This is a submucosal layer. You will find the loose connective tissues. Okay. Next to the submucosa, you will come the muscularis externa or the tunica muscularis layer. Two layer of the smooth muscle you will find. And then lastly, you will find serosa, because it is intestine in the body cavity. Serosa, the mesothelial layer you will find. It's clear? Just a minute. So that was about the tubular organs. Okay. Hello. Yeah. So now I have told you that there are two types of organs. One was the tubular organs, another is non-tubular. So what about the non-tubular organs? So non-tubular organ is called as the solid organs or the parenchymatous organs, and that includes mostly the glands of the body, whether it is our salivary glands, the digestive glands like the pancreas, the liver. So their organization is composed of two parts. One is called as parenchyma, another is called as stroma. So parenchyma means inside the glands, what are the secretory units you will find, secretory cells you will find, or the different ducts you will find. So these secretory units and the ducts, that will be termed as the parenchyma. Okay? And the stroma. Stroma means this gland is supported or they are covered with certain connective tissue structures, and that will be called as the stroma. And that stroma means that connective tissue from the capsules, it's capsules as well as from capsules certain rebound-like structure will invaginate into the interiors of the particular glands, that will be called as the trabeculae. So these are the two components in general about the parenchymatous or the solid organs. So that means the organization of parenchymatous organ consists of parenchyma and stroma. So you must know what do you understand by the parenchyma. So parenchyma means the secretory units and the ducts. So what are the ducts in different glands you will find? Specific name will be there. Okay, suppose here secretory units in the livers, you will find that hepatocytes. Okay, then hepatic duct. Okay, so similarly pancreas, you will find acinar cells. Okay, so major minor pancreatic duct. Okay, so the different names will be there in different organs, but in general parenchyma means secretory units and the ducts, and in general stroma means you will understand that it consists of connective tissue, capsule and trabeculae. Okay, and this capsule may have specific name in some of the organs. So that is about the organization of the different organs. That is the tubular organs and the parenchymatous organs. So if you have any points anywhere, let me know, because this is very important. On the basis of this, only entire systemic histology depends. You have to know entire systemic histology. If it is not clear to you, it will be very difficult to understand the systemic histology. If there is any points on the general organization.
Sir, can you please show slide number 8?
8, slide number. Yeah. Any point here?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So here this is telling that muscularis externa. Muscularis externa means it is another name is Tunica muscularis. So simply some authors simply write as mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa Adventitia, but it's always better to write as Tunica mucosa, Tunica submucosa, Tunica muscularis, Tunica Adventitia, like that. Okay. Anybody? Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got your syllabus. Today we'll stop here and next we'll deal with another. But and tomorrow actually I'm having one meeting tomorrow. That's why I have just shifted my class from Wednesday to today. Tomorrow Dr. Dole will take your class at the same time, 11. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And all the best for your exam.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll just give you.